I'm a sex and relationship therapist. I think I got into sex therapy or learned about it when I was in grad school, and I was searching like, okay, what can I do with the master's in counseling? What kind of therapist do I want to be? And I stumbled upon sex and relationship therapy, and I was like, oh shoot, I could get paid to talk about sex. I think about sex all the time. So individual and couples therapy with an emphasis on sex related issues. What that means is it's pretty much a personal journey where we explore your behaviors and thoughts as it relates to your sexuality. I would probably have to say sexual assault, sexual trauma. I really like to see your PTSD symptoms mitigate, but also the beliefs that come up post-assault can be very, very strong. And so seeing them unhook from that and then detangle those beliefs is just really fascinating to me. So that's probably my favorite. I also love working with interracial relationships and couples who either have never had sex before or are having difficulty figuring out what they want to do with each other. Still experiences pain with sex. They do experience desire discrepancy because the pain is so high. She's able to advocate and communicate to her partner that she doesn't want sex, and in fact she hates it right now, for the pain to be so bad and also the SA to be lingering as well. It was just a really hard thing to admit. And so yeah, I do work with individuals who have painful sex and want to learn how to have pleasurable sex. And a big part of that is just communicating to your partner. And then the other thing I'm seeing too is just using different positions that would be helpful for them, and then listening to their body. That's a really big part, is that people aren't listening to their body, so they're not able to communicate, they don't even pay attention to it, and that's where a lot of the issues come from. We'll start with we'll start with when the pain started. We'll also talk about relationships. So if there's ever been any past relationships, when is the pain? Is it during solo sex, masturbation, or is it also partnered? Is it both, or just one or the other? So is it situational? We'll also detangle any emotions that might be arising too. If you're experiencing any shame and that makes it worse, or if you're experiencing anxiety and that just tenses you up more. So we'll talk about the anatomy. We'll talk about the logistics of the pain, when it happens, where it happens, how it happens. And then from there, just depending if there's any sexual trauma or even relationship trauma, we'll do a sexual history timeline. So that will help me understand, what sex was like with themselves, when did they first discover it, what are some beliefs that are underlying those sex. And then relationship stuff too is, what was your relationships like with other people? Did you just have bad experiences with sex and then that caused your body to just tense up even more? We'll talk about your relationship with sex in general. So that's where I usually start my clients off, is like, what's your definition of sex and intimacy? Why is it important to you? If it even is important to you. Is I want to be able to masturbate without pain. That's going to be our first goal. This is all a very multidisciplinary approach. So that would be another avenue. If it's not psychological, I can't help with that. If it's not manual, where you can't help with that and you just need someone else to help guide you, that's where the somatic body workers would come in.